Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast Real Deal. Today we have a very special guest, a superstar in the real estate market in Dubai, Anthony. And Anthony, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be on board.
Yeah, I'm sure today you guys will get a lot of interesting information, insights. Don't forget to share your stories on Instagram and tag Really and tag Anthony as well. Bro, let's start from the beginning. How did you end up in Dubai?
It was in October 2014. So I came here to visit. I was visiting my uncle. I haven't seen him for almost 15 years. Very small bag that has closed for 5 days. Mm-hmm. Came to Dubai, fell in love with it immediately. As soon as I stepped on Sheikh Zayed, I'm like, wow, this is gorgeous. So it was a Thursday evening. I landed at 11, so we barely spoke, went to bed. The next day, he was like, you know, you're very good at sales. And this city is really popping when it comes to real estate. Why don't you apply? So I'm like, apply for work, live in here, you know. So it was a bit weird. I remember on Friday, I applied a lot, maybe 10, 15 CVs. And everyone called me on Sunday and they were like, come for an interview. Which was really weird. I went there, like, all companies were super flashy, super big, you know. They didn't feel like this is the place. I don't know, for some reason, I felt there's something wrong with those. Then I Googled top 10 companies in Dubai. And Provident pop up. So I reached out to them. Like, are you hiring? They were like, no. I kept reaching out until I remembered back then the COO was so annoyed. He was like, let this fucking guy come. I just want to see him so he can stop calling us.
Bro, I see such cases in our company right now. And there are some guys who are sitting in the hall like, no, I'm waiting for the manager. I want to see the HR guy. On, guys, and they end up being super successful.
You guys are killing it now. It's like all over the country. Everyone is talking about you. You've been doing this crazy growth. So I'm sure this is the case happening.
Wait a second. May I ask you this? So why did you choose Provident? How did you said you opened top 10, but there are 10 companies.
I don't know. It was like a hunch. For some reason, it just like felt I need to go see these guys. Because also from the companies that I was accepted for an interview, they were already in the top 10. Mm-hmm. There was like 3 or 4. But for some reason, I went there, I saw it. I remember back then, there was nothing fancy about the company. 1,200 square feet of your office. All of the agents looked like gangster. And I liked it. I'm like, you know what? I belong here. This is my place. Don't ask me why. It's all from God. That was a hunch that I should be working there. They liked me. They were like, come start on Monday. And that's how it all started. So supposedly now by getting the job, everything should be great. It wasn't at all. I didn't have money. Because I spent what I had on my stay. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know what a square foot is. I didn't know the areas. I didn't have transportation. I had to go take RIRA. So everything like started to be really, I don't know, like blurry. I wasn't really knowing the direction. And every day I had the sound in the back of my head by telling me, go back, this is not for you. Taking me back to home, to my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. But for some reason I kept pushing, fighting for it. And bit by bit it started growing until where we are now.
Tell us about your first deal.
First deal. It was like my toughest months. I remember I had nothing under my name except an iPhone 5C. It was the only plastic iPhone that they make, 5C. So I didn't have any money. I'm like, okay. Went to the shop and I sold it. They gave me for it 330 dirhams. So I'm like, okay, great. I need to divide this to live 1 month. So I divided it that I can pay 10 dirhams per day. 10 dirhams, it was 5 dirhams, which is the metro, and 5 dirhams, the cheese sandwich in Almaya. You remember those? It was like, that's it. Like, I have to live off this until I make money. So by the time I had the 26th day, which was like that's it. I'm left with 30, 40 dirhams in my pocket. I managed to close a leasing deal, a 2-bedroom in JBR. I think it was in Bahar. Was another agency. Anyway, it ended up to be giving me like 1,800 dirhams. But bro, trust me, those 800 dirhams, well, like, it's fine. I can eat something else. I can have meat, I can have chicken, you know, so it made me feel good. And that was, it was my first rental. And anyway, I didn't work in sales up until 2017, end of it, where we started doing this off-plan properties. But before, all of my life, I was doing leasing. Yeah.
I see. How would you approach this process of finding a company? Let's say you just end up in Dubai, but you still have your knowledge that you have right now. How would you choose a company? Where would you prefer to stay and work?
I tell you what, I always say that the agent makes the company. It's not the way around. Now, if you want to be in any company, that's fine, as long as you are taking your proper exposure online, such as an access to all of the portals. Unfortunately, nowadays, I hear agents telling me that my company allowed to list 5 properties. I have a limit. I cannot list more. There is no social media exposure, such as the company are providing a videographer that will help them do the content writing. So in order for you to pick a company, make sure that they are supporting you and all of this stuff, and the rest is on you. Because you always see in every company there is 10% killing it and the remaining trying to make it. So the bigger the company, the less chances are that you can shine in it. Look at your company. God bless, now you are 400 or 500 agents.
Something like this.
Bring someone to come in. You guys will have him for breakfast. But once he go to a circle of 20, 30 companies, and this is where he gets his proper execution, then he can join your company, because at least he will be armed with confidence, with knowledge, with transactions that will help them. So what I say, just make sure once you want to partner up with a company, and I say partner up, not to work for it. It's a partnership. It's a give and take. This company has to give you proper social media exposure, unlimited access to portals, and what you will do in return, present this company in good matters, be ethical, and make sure that you are closing deals that you are feeding back to the company, so your boss or your manager can reinvest this money in you.
Would you still open a top list of the MR companies, or you will not approach it this way?
But I didn't hear you, sorry.
Would you still open a list of the top companies from MR to identify the company, so you would not do this today?
I will still open it with the stuff I know?
Yes.
I will just work as a freelancer. To be very honest, with the stuff I know today, I don't need any company. The fact is just like belonging to a group and having the same vision and the company. This is like everyone needs to belong somewhere. You can be a wolf, a loner doing your stuff, and you can be in a pack. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting the result and you're happy in what you're doing. Also, I see lots of people that they are stuck in a company where they're not happy, they're not content, they're not feeling fulfillment, but they are too scared to leave it because this is a comfort zone. And there's a lot of people as well that they leave their own existing company thinking that the grass is greener and a different side, and when they go there, they will like, please let us come back. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm telling you. It's all about the feeling, the hunch, if you're belonging or you're feeling proper support, and the rest you have to do it.
Mm-hmm. And let's say you found the company, you feel like everything is okay there. How would you approach the different markets, like the rental, sales, secondary, off-plan? What would you pick?
Listen, Denis, I'll tell you something. When I started in Dubai, back then there was no proper educational trainings or even influencers that someone can follow. So the norm was like, this is the database, call them, harass them.
Yes.
You want to buy, you want to sell. That unfortunately they are still doing until date. So back then I was looking at everyone and I'm like, it cannot be that silly. There must be something more into it. And I have this type that I don't like to fit in. I always like to stand out. So if everyone is going on the right side, I have to go on the left for some reason. So I'm like, there must be something else. I start roaming around in JBR. And when I was looking at JBR, I saw like these big buildings that they have RH on them. It's Roda Hotels. Mm-hmm. So I walked in just to ask. I'm like, this is what they were like. We are what's it called? The hotel apartments in here. So they had building 1, 2, and building 5. So I'm like, okay, I just came to Dubai and I want to check your apartments. The one bedroom, maybe I'm going to stay in one bedroom and maybe my family is coming. I might take the 3 bedrooms. Back then in my pocket, I had $50. I shouldn't even be inquiring, but I was just curious. So I came in, I'm like, wow, fully furnished buildings, fully serviced. That's amazing. And I really loved the furniture and the setup and the views of everything. So I went down, I'm like, can I meet your sales director? And they were like, do you have an appointment? I'm like, no. They were like, it doesn't work like that. You have to take an appointment. I was wearing a t-shirt and jeans. I didn't even have a suit. I was coming as a tourist. So I'm like, it's okay. I'm going to wait for him. I waited 1 hour, 2 hours. Then he got curious. I'm like, who's this guy waiting for me? He came out. And he was like, I'm just curious to meet you. Like, what do you want from me? I'm like, I'm here to change your life. And he was like, oh, wow.
You said this.
Yeah. And he was like, wow, let's sit down, have a coffee. And like, what do you do? And I told him I'm a real estate broker. And he was like, oh, like another one of those. So I told him, listen, give me this building exclusive. And I'm gonna make wonders. So he started laughing. He said, do you know who we are? I'm like, I have no idea. Later on, I found out that this belongs to a royal family, this project. He was like, we don't work like that. You have to do a proper proposal, take an appointment, wear a suit, and come meet me next time. I'm like, okay, how to do a proposal? I went on Google, started. You don't get proposals. Anyway, I prepared one, called his assistant, took proper appointment, wore a suit, went to meet him. He looked for it 10 minutes and just threw it. He said no. Like, okay. I went, got third one, rejected. Fourth one, rejected. Then I'm like, okay, doesn't matter what I will write on paper. This guy will never accept me. Let me come with him differently. Let me show him that I'm the real deal. So I started going to the buildings next to it. And I started going there, bribing the security, bringing them KFCs, Hardee's, Denis, and tell them what are the available units. I got to know what are the available units in the building. So I started getting listings. So whenever I got a tenant to come to me, I used to show them the building next door and say, listen, this is a great deal. You don't believe me? Let me show you the building next door. It's fully furnished, but the elevation and price is 60 to 80,000 dirhams. I used to take those guys to show them the building. Why? Because the office of the sales director, it was on the ground floor, and he will see everyone walking in. So every day he used to see me with clients, not knowing that I was bringing clients trying to close the other units.
Yes.
But for him, he was seeing me with clients. So eventually he called me and was like, oh, apparently you have clients a lot. I'm like, yes. Then I made a deal over there, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. Come sign the exclusivity. And everyone in my company went nuts. They were like, how did you do that? You don't know who these guys are. And I heavily invested, even though I heavily invested in the marketing. Like, we used to drop almost 30 to 40,000 back then on marketing.
Jesus.
That was used, but we filled it up. So they had almost 250 units. We filled it up, all of the long term, even we filled up all of the monthly. And from there, they loved our performance. So they gave me Roda Boutique villas, that they were 60 villas in Kite Beach. Then we took another 15 units straight away on Suqeim. We took the Muruj in downtown. We took one in Oud Mesa. Roda Mesa, and for 2.5 years I managed 1,500 properties on exclusive basis. So what people are doing in sales right now, I used to do just by picking up the phone and arranging meetings. So I built this system where I didn't even need to be in that meeting. So I used to get the inquiry, explain it to them, get an appointment, call the sales team from that building, telling them Mr. X is coming at 4 p.m. Show him this layout, this layout, this layout. He sees them. He called me. He's like, I like this unit. So I'm like, great. Send me your passport copy. I'll take the passport copy. I'll send it to the sales again. Say, draft the contract. He's starting from this date. He's paying this. Send it to me. Go meet the guy. Do the signature. Get the payment. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. And I managed to make 50 to 80,000 dirhams back then by just doing this every month.
Did you have a team who was running all this?
It was all by myself.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
Bro, outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
So that's why I'm telling you, like, when I saw like the only stuff are either like selling a property or renting a property, I'm like, there must be something else. And it was the hotel apartments that they were on untapped market. So this is why I saw the opportunity. I'm like, jump in it. So this is what I have done. Then later on, Provident merged with another 4 companies, and they formulated OBG.
Yes.
You know, if you remember those
Yeah,
days.
I do. Yeah.
And from those days, we started getting exclusive projects of sales. So we took our first project, which was Al Habtour City on Sheikh Zayed Road. Then we took the Polo residence in Maidan. And this is what really forced me into jumping into sales. Because I'm like, okay, you reached the stage. Now I'm too lazy by just answering the phone. I'm making 50, 60,000, 70,000. Why do I need to work? But then when the company merged, we became 150 agents. And I had to prove myself that this is my area. I am the one in here. So I jumped to sales. First year, I was miserable. I made 4 sales. It was terrible. It was terrible. But I was still okay because I was well funded. I have a house, I have a car, I'm fine. Still, I remember when I cracked it and exploded with me, it was in April 2018. That was a month which was crazy. I made 19 different sales.
Wow.
Commissions were almost 660,000. And from them, I sustained the same amount, the same sales, the same volume from April 2018.
What happened in April?
Tell you what happened. So I traveled to Beirut to have this Christmas and New Year holiday. And when I traveled, I remember I had money in my bank account, maybe like $6,000-7,000, but I knew that the receivable, I'm having like almost $60,000 to $70,000. So it was like 250,000 dirhams coming to my account. I had 6,000-7,000 in my pocket as running money. Like, take it, go have a nice vacation, come back. What happened then that there was an issue with the partners that they fought between each other. And
in OBG?
In OBG, because they were a lot. They were almost 13, 14 people.
I'm so curious to hear the story, actually, because I remember on the market when you joined force, like, fuck, what is going to happen now?
It was beautiful, actually, and the idea was great. Everything was great, but you know, when you have too many chefs, it's too much to have 13, 14 people
Let
involved.
me just quickly explain to the guys who may be not familiar with this case. Like, so there was 4 big very reputable companies who decided to become one company, and they became known as OBG on the market. So imagine 4 different teams with 4 different leaders, with 4 different owners. They become one company.
Or
and
half of X capital nowadays, you know, in another sense. Yeah. So I don't know if something happened inside that they had a fight, and for some reason, the trade license froze, and when you freeze your trade license, your bank account gets frozen. So the money, the commissions was paid from the developers to this account, but you cannot take it out.
Crazy.
So when I came here, it was the worst quarter of all of my life. So I came here, and supposedly I want to take this money. My lease is over. I already have another unit to move into it. I couldn't get the money. My car broke down, and the cost to fix it was 14,000. So I told the guy, leave it with you. There's no, I don't even have the money. It was really tough. So I still remember that I lost the house. I rented a Kia Picanto. I was sometimes sleeping in it. Other times I was sleeping in my friends' couches and stuff like that. It was really rough, bro. Like that Q1, I'm like, why? I just barely made it for the past 2 years. Why I just went all the way back? And for me, it was like kind of awakening, like, no, you shouldn't be happy to make 100,000, 200,000. You should be making millions, so you never go back to this stage. And I was working like an animal, I remember. And I didn't close in that Q1. However, I was so consistent and keep calling these leads that all of them, they came to close in April. So whoever I was cooking and warming and working on didn't end up closing in Jan or Feb or March, but he came in April. The guys I was dealing with on February came in April. March came in April. So that's why I got this crazy volume of guys doing it. And I still remember back then it was Omar bin Farouk, one of people that I really respect and appreciate in my life. He's the existing CEO of OBG. He told me, Tony, be very careful. You have to maintain these numbers or else people will call you lucky. And I'm like, really? It was like, yeah, that's how this city works.
Such good words.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this and I will never close below this. And this is how I kept pushing all the time.
So was there any specific launch that happened in April?
No, I mean, like our nice push, it was in September 2017 when Dubai Properties came. with the Villanova, those townhouses, they
Mhm.
were like hotcakes. We were selling left and right, and whoever was buying, it was coming again, bringing their family, their cousins, their stuff. There was Aziz Riviera. I did 60 units over there. Aziz Riviera was like happy days. What else? There was like launches back then. Emar came with the Krieg Vida that eventually didn't happen. It got cancelled, but the hype on it, it was crazy. There were Sidras. There was lots of stuff coming in those days that really pushed the market. So there was facilitation of payment, giving people 60%, 2 years, 3 years post. So yeah, there was a good stock. And also for me, I got really obsessed on doing it. So Habtoor City for me was like the school of plan. I managed to sell 1 unit in Habtoor. Didn't do much. In Polo, I sold 3 units, but was training, was doing the Azizes, was getting... Remember Aziz how he used to sell?
Bro.
He used to have the full floor in Maidan Hotel.
I prefer not to talk about it, but yeah, it was
that's
good.
I'm telling you. So we used to go there. It was like a fish market. Even if you have clients, you have to keep holding them because someone else will come grab them. So all of this was the training and the push and the hunger. And me, I don't want never to come back to that quarter where I had to sleep in a Kia Picanto. Altogether as a formula, made this happen. So it's like, if I sell 5 units, it doesn't matter. I'm staying doing the work consistently every day. If I make $1 million, doesn't matter. If I make 2, it doesn't. I have to keep doing it. So I got in a way that why I'm even competing in my own company, why I should be competing in the city. That was the mentality. I should outwork everyone in the city. So that's why I kept really pushing. And I understood how to talk to investors. I understood how big investors think. Like these guys, you cannot offer them studios on 1 bedroom. These guys are here to leverage. They want to build a portfolio. I started learning a lot in the financial world. How to release equity, how to get business loans, how to get them, so many stuff. What does commodity means? Why people get into gold and silver? Why they go out and put them in stuff? So I started learning this stuff, and it was so fun learning this stuff. I got obsessed with it, and I made myself like the calendar how to divide my day. And I'm like, okay, you can sleep 8 hours maximum, 16 you're hustling. Like as long as you're awake, you're working. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
I'm sure right now it's different, but let's discuss your strategies of the following up with the clients back then.
Yeah.
You said that you were consistently in touch with them.
Yeah.
How did you approach this part of the work?
So I'll tell you what. So it's like, first of all, I wasn't the pushy person over the phone. To be very
Are you
honest.
now? Are you a pushy person now?
Not at all. I've never felt it, and I always, the way I see it, I tell my clients, I'm not a salesperson. Most of my clients becomes my friend, and I can tell you 95% of those we become really good friends. I travel to their countries. They're always here. We meet up in different places. We go out. We have dinners. We party. We do stuff like that. So I always tell them that when you go out with me, you're like going out with a friend doing property shopping. It's a fun experience. We're going out to have fun. Whether you buy or not, I really don't care. And genuinely, I do that. So I always made sure that find them value and understand their situation. So many people nowadays, they are in the market, but they are not in the stage that they can close today. Maybe they need a month, maybe they need 2. So this broker who's talking to them is like, give me your passport copy now, give me the check. If the guy doesn't, it's like, screw it, it's a dead deed. Put him as a dead deed, he will never call them back. It's not the way that is. There is nurturing, there is talking to them, there is keep feeding them with stuff. So back then, as a marketing strategy, I was really good at sending out emailers. Emailers blast, using the MailChimp and MadMimi. I used to create them in a beautiful way, super eye-catchy, and I still remember that it was the first time that they will allow us to put the name of the sender. So if I was sending a Nashama project, I used to put the name Nashama. So when people were receiving these emails, they were thinking it's directly from Nashama and redirecting back to them.
Which database did you use? Owners of properties?
Yeah, we used to use owner of the properties, blast out emailers. I was always lucky enough to have a conversion of 40 to 50 lead on every project.
Bro, outstanding. And this is
No,
something
the lead,
that other...
yeah, I was really good. Even marketing companies, they were like, "How are you doing this?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm lucky."
Yeah,
but
everybody-
I've never showed them what I was doing.
Everybody were focusing on the calls and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
I wasn't. Listen, bro. End of the day, like, I'm just gonna pick your number and call you. I don't know which stage you are. Maybe you're happy. Maybe you're sad. God forbid someone is sick in your family. God forbid you just got fired from your work. So when I wanna call you and talk to you about a property, maybe this is a subject that is totally out of context for you and I'm annoying you. So it's automatic that you will cuss me, you will feel upset and you will hang up the phone in my face. I've never pushed something on someone not knowing at least that there is a 10% interest in it. Give me 10%, I will handle the remaining 90. But just to cold call, I've never cold called. I literally never cold call. And whoever cold call, it's not like I'm coming on them, but I'm saying you're dinosaurs. There's so many other ways that you can do proper marketing and let them come to you, not the other way around.
Is emails still working?
Email still working. And now there's different emails, and I'm sure you guys know it best. You know, you can even now not only send out an emailer, you can now get the email ad where you will open your email and you'll always see on the top 2 banners that it says next to it ad.
Yeah.
And you just click on it, it will open a small page like this that says, for example, Alaya Mansions, 1 to 3 bedrooms. You click on it, it will redirect you to the landing page of your company, out of which someone can have a quick look and then he can press on WhatsApp, which will redirect to your WhatsApp. And from there, it's your job to do the remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, first of all, are you still in Provident? What is your status right now?
I am in Provident. I'm an associate partner in Provident. People, I don't know why you're asking me this question. It's just like because I'm managing maybe so many other companies, right? Yeah. So it's like the way we do it, just like LOA is fully in charge of the agency and fully in charge of the brokers, and under him there is managing directors, sales directors, and sales manager. When it comes to my side and coming back to my story, how I started. So when I was doing this sales, I started telling myself, Anthony, everyone can rent the property and make this investor 5% and 6%. How am I going to get them 9 and 10? How I'm going to be the special person that is making these returns? And it got back to me. I'm like, hotel, apartment, short-term rental. And in 2016, the government allowed subleasing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, happy days. So I tested out myself by me taking a property and subleasing it. And I made 60% on
Which year was it?
2016.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, 60% on my money? This is madness. So I started doing in 17, and then I'm like, let me start the holiday homes company. And I started the company.
Which year was it?
I got the license end of 18.
End of 18.
End of 18. It was either November or December. I cannot remember. Databases, start calling all of these guys, start calling even all of the hotels that I used to work with them and telling them, listen, now I have my own, let's do business, let's do referral. Because I was really well known in the travel or the tourism industry, so I was calling these travel agencies, booking agencies, relocation agencies, like, listen guys, I have this unit for you, I have a special price. Start giving commission to everyone. And I grow that snowball to where we are today of 500 units in Dubai.
Outstanding. But bro, you are a real estate agent. You're closing deals. You have a lot of income, and then suddenly you decide to open a property management company.
It's not property management. It's a holiday homes.
Holiday home company.
Yeah.
So when you open a holiday company, did you shift all your focus there?
Not really, because I do have a big team under me, and they do most of the work. I can tell you, I'm the face of it. I'm the one that calls the bulk buyers and say, I'm doing this to my investors, why I don't do it for you, and I show them tangible proof that this is the numbers I'm doing, give me the opportunity to do it. Also, I am the one that calls other real estate companies and sign them up, because I'm open to deal with everyone. I don't have this competitive hate in the market, you know, because you see in all companies like, no, this is the enemy, he's a competitor. I don't have it. For me, I think it's like coming together, we can all grow. End of the day, if you have investors and I'm managing them for you and I'm making your investors 10, 11, 12%, what will your investors do? They will call you and say, Denis, your income is amazing, let me reinvest the money. So it's win-win for everyone. You're making more money, I am making more money, and it's a circle that we are all supporting each other, rather than me telling me, oh no, I will not deal with you unless I have the client. So my agreement is with all of the real estate broker out there in Dubai. I don't need the data. If I want the data, it's already on the market. I can pick it up for 1,000 dirhams. I can buy all of Dubai data. What I take from them, I take the units and I manage it. I give them a host login where they can see all of the booking throughout all of the years, and I make them my partner. So for example, I am managing a unit, I'm taking from it 20% every month.
Mm-hmm.
When you are giving me the unit, I'm giving you 5% every month. Means I'm telling you, come become my profit partner without you putting 1 dirham from your pocket. And I have guys doing between 12 to 20,000 on a monthly basis from 2019 by just introducing me to few people. It's no joke, bro. Seriously, like you can use this money, I don't know, for shopping. You can use this money for travel, but this money is a higher income than 70% of real estate brokers out there.
And I'll happily building.
That's what I'm saying. I have a lots of these guys that they bring buildings. Now we're in touch with Yes Island. There's a guy who's bringing me 4 buildings, and we're getting to permits and stuff. So what I'm telling you is, like, us as a community of brokers, we can always hate each other, even though I hate this method, but I always say, embrace each other. Like, if someone is making it, instead of you trying to bash this person, say, if he's making it, I will do it better. And that's the mentality I had. So always be a student, have this student mind, see how this person is doing it, learn from him, develop the method, and become better. And the more we come together, we will change the reputation on the market that we are all facing it. That unfortunately, most of the people say that these guys are clowns or they don't know what they're doing. Why? Because we have crazy volume of people who just came in the industry as glory chasers. They heard the story. This guy made $5 million, $10 million. Let me do it. Came in, destroyed themselves, gave away all of their commission, destroyed everything, and left back to be working something else. So either as a community, we come together, we build it, and we all eat from this big cake, or we keep fighting each other and everyone will be having their own crumbs.
Yeah. Bro, having 500 units under your management, I'm sure it somehow influenced on your investment strategy that you propose to the clients.
Absolutely.
Maybe you see that this area is doing better, maybe this side is doing better.
Absolutely.
Can you share some of the insights?
Okay, so basically we have 3 types of investors. We have the guys who are coming, they are a bit liquid, that they got their money from crypto, from stocks, from whatever it is, and they want to pick units and they want to flip it. We have the guys that they are coming to be parking their money into cash cows. And those areas I can call you like JVC, JVT, where the rental is amazing. The units are never empty. However, if they're looking for capital gain, those are not the ideal products. And we have the guys who are coming that they want crazy income and crazy capital gain, out of which the areas are very simple. So the more you are towards Sheikh Zayed, the beach side, this is your category, beachfront island. Prices has changed 6 times from 2019 when we were selling those units. Beachfront by Emir. Beachfront by Emir, they're making 15%. Blue Waters is making 17%. So if someone bought in 2019 and 2020, they're making 17
Did you sell
to 18%.
any Blue Waters off plan?
I sold 28 units. And my
Off-plan.
biggest regret that I've never bought a unit myself. And now I live there as a tenant.
Did you sell it? I just remember there was a time when it was like
85 years and 4% registration waived. Bro,
Yes.
we were on the 3rd floor with clients. Like, I remember I used to deal with Jason back then. So I'm like, Jason, book it. And he was like trying to book it. He was like, it's gone. I look at the buyers. Okay, we have one down the hallway. We run, we see the units. Book it, gone. Go to the 5th floor. We used to sell them like seriously, like we're in a race. Like when they used to release a building in 3 hours, if you cannot buy, you're gone.
So you sold, how many units you said?
28 units.
28 units on this payment plan, yeah? Bro, I just remember that there was this payment, I didn't sell any off plan there, which I can say that it was my mistake. I was thinking it's overpriced.
It was overpriced.
And
back then in 2019, they were asking for almost 25% higher than the market for these prices.
And look what happened, yeah? So let's continue the topic. So what you're saying is For the rental income, you would suggest to focus on the.
It depends on their strategy, how many years they want to stay in this investment. If they want the premium, so you have Blue Waters, you have Beachfront Island, you have Port de la Mer. It's doing amazing nowadays. Like the demand on this area is crazy. We got almost 17 units over there. You can never have a unit. It's always fully booked.
Do you think you still get premiums there?
In Port de la Mer?
Port de la Mer, Beachfront, Blue Waters.
Bro, it depends. Like, I sold units in Beachfront for 1.3 million.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, it was launched in January 2018.
Would you still offer it to the clients in Beachfront to buy? Because I think it's overpriced a bit. Not a bit, it is overpriced.
Bro, it depends. Like now, there is one bedrooms that they are transacting for 2.7, 2.8 million. For me, I wouldn't offer this unit because what's the ceiling of a one bedroom? That's the ceiling. What it can go more? 3 million for 750 square feet? I think that's the ceiling. However, if I can get a unit in Ili Saab between 4.8 to 5.5 million, absolutely. Especially if you can get these units that we used to sell them on 50% 3 years post handover, absolutely. Because I know by the time the handover will come, it's gonna explode. I'm still buying myself, but I'm hand-picking units. Now the main area which I'm focused on is Majid Al Futtaim, Tilal Al Ghaf. It's mad what's happening. So let me give you this example. I bought a unit in May 2022, a 4 bedrooms for 3.7 million, out of which I'm getting today 5.4 million. All what I paid for it was 45%. There's the remaining now end of the year, 2 years post. And I know by the time it will be handed over, I will not sell it below 6 million. I picked a 5 bedroom in February for 5.8. So the OP was what? It was 4.6. I picked it for 5.8. I'm getting today 6.5. By handover, I will be extremely surprised if I sell it below 7.5. Why I'm getting these units? Because the relocation happening in Dubai, the demographic of the people, these are all guys coming to live in the city. So you need to know what are the guys, what are the investors coming, what's the mentality. So I look at the school and I see there is new 270,000 students registered. What does this mean? These are families moving to the city and they are cash buyers. What do they want? They want big villas. And as the supply in Dubai, we are undersupplied when it comes to big villas and affordable. Now you can be in Dubai Hills on the left side, there is as much as you want, but prices you cannot enter below 17, 18 million. Or you can get the Cedras, which are not the top notch, Cedras and Maple, but a villa like the Futtaim, which is offering you anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000, and you're buying it below 6 million, yeah, that's a deal.
The deal that you made in Feb, didn't you feel like you missed out on the opportunity and it's better to buy directly from the developer? Or maybe the seller approached you and he was in distress?
No, it wasn't like that. I'm telling you, the seller, funny story, the seller ended up to be my friend and now he's my dentist. No, the seller had a premium. He made from it 1.2 million dirhams.
Yeah, he made money.
It wasn't like that, but
you still decided, yes, I'm buying.
I'll tell you why. Because I was seeing who's coming. It was mainly Russians, Ukrainians. There was lots of European, lots of Brits coming. They're not coming to stay on condos. They're not coming to stay in apartments. They want villas. So I saw that today, what are we getting in terms of handover? So I looked at 2024, 2025, 2026 until 2027. There is barely 8,000 big villas coming in communities like that. I'm like, so there is massive shortage on it. So when this will hand over, this is gonna explode. Already now people started seeing after Elan townhouses, bro, we used to sell them for 1.3 million. Yeah. Like now you will be lucky if you get below 2.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if the Elan did like this, Harmony will explode. And Harmony will be nothing comparing to Alaya. Alaya is gonna make crazy figures. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait till handover, I'm gonna flip these 2 units, out of which I'm gonna make from them anywhere between 4.2 to 5 million dirham and get them into an Alaya and wait for it. So this is what I'm telling you. Like, you need to invest as an investor. If you want to be wise and you don't need the cash, pick up the premium units, even though you are paying a bit higher, but the prices will elevate 5-6 times more when you want to get out of it.
What was your first purchase of the property?
A collective 1-bedroom.
Collective?
Yeah.
Back then? Or?
Yeah, back then. I bought it for 678,000.
Directly from Imar?
Directly from Imar. I remember I sold like 11, 12 units. I'm like, shit, man, I'm selling everyone. It's about time to get my first property. So yeah, I bought a collective. And then after it, I started buying an IMPZ. So when I started making money, and like it was about time for me to get my first house, I took an IMPZ.
Mm-hmm.
You know these studios, lakeside, 300 square feet, super tiny?
So, bro, I know that they're super profitable. But this is leasehold, isn't it?
No, it's a freehold. I remember, so I was living in this studio, and I said one day if I will have money, I will buy this studio. I ended up to be buying 3 over there. Now it was a shit investment. It was an emotional investment. So I bought the studio for 265,000.
265.
Yeah, and
which year was it?
In 18. I started buying in 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the collective. I got it towards May, just 3-4 days after the launch. So I bought in collective 1, tower 2. So tower 1 was sold, and tower 2 I bought mine. After it, in 2 months I bought a studio. Then every 2 months whenever I got commission, 250, 300,000, I used to buy a unit. I've never spent the money. It was like total contrary of what I was living before. So before I used to spend everything, which will ended up for me being here. Then now I said, I'm going to live it differently. I need to start building portfolios. So yeah, I ended up buying 3 of these studios. Rental was nothing. It was bullshit, 26,000 dirhams a year. I sold 2, I kept 1. Because the tenant inside was a very nice guy. He stayed with me for like 3 years, married guy, very nice guy. After he left, I looked at the prices. I'm like, okay, so the rent is 22,000. If I want to sell it, it's for 250. What's the point? So I left it. So this is a cash cow. This is a property that I will never sell it because it has no value in the market.
Why didn't you rent it on a monthly basis? They were rented for 5,000 back then. Or maybe 4,000. Are we talking about these big buildings in MPZ?
Yeah, 26 floors, 27 floors, like full floor. You have
in front of the lake?
Yeah, it's called Lakeside Towers, A, B, C, D. I didn't rent it for monthly because I used to live there and I used to know what happens there on a monthly basis.
Disaster,
so I'm like, I didn't want my property to be used in that way. Let me at least secure someone take it.
So you end up calling it a shitty investment.
I'm saying shitty in terms of returns, but for me it was an emotional investment. It was a proof to myself because I told myself one day if I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna buy this place, and I bought it. So it was a task for me that I have done it. Money-wise, it's not a good investment. However, emotional one, it lifted me up. I'm like, I did something. Now I'm a landlord. So it was a different title. And from there, I started having the taste of what does it mean. And end of the day, investing into properties is the most addictive feeling that you can have in your life. Never is enough. You have 10, it's not enough. 20 is not enough. You want 50, you have 50, you have hundreds. And
how many do you have right now?
I don't know if it's wise to say, but I have over 20.
20?
Yeah.
Amazing. And what kind of investor are you? Are you buying to flip or you keeping them to...
It depends on the situation. For example, this Majid Al Futtaim ones, I know by the time it's going to be handed over, I'm going to flip them. That will allow me to get a lot of liquidity, which I can buy something else. The stuff that I have in JVC, no, I'm not flipping them. I have a lot of stuff on Business Bay, on the Canal. These stuff I went because they have a post-handover payment plan. So by the time they are ready, I'm just gonna furnish them, rent them on short-term rental, pick up 10%, inject the money. So I let the portfolio buy itself. So basically, you can say like I have fully paid 8 units. And everything coming from the rental keep adding on units. It's just like growing itself by itself. I don't need to inject any money in it.
Let's say you just made some money and you are an agent. how would you recommend him to invest, and in what, and how much money to save up? So let's say somebody has an opportunity to buy a studio. Should he buy a studio? Should he save more to buy?
I wouldn't recommend anyone ever to buy any studio. Not ever. The days when I used to buy studios, the market norm was different. It was pre-COVID. So when investors used to come, the most wanted units, there were studios and 1 bedroom. 2, 3 and beds were a bit heavy. So when a developer used to release a project, those one you can always come pick them up. Not the way like now. Now you will see 4 beds immediately gone, 3 beds gone, 2 beds gone. So that's why I used to invest in them. But now I will tell someone, don't do it. Reason being that once you buy a studio, it's a good rental. However, your tenant will always be in a tough position. So if someone is coming and they can afford only 30 to 40,000 dirhams a year, means this person is not in a good situation in life. God forbid he might lose his job. Then you have to chase him and run after him to get your money, which you will never get. And even if you go file a case in the rental dispute center, it's gonna take you ages to solve it. It's a total loss of money. If you wanna sell this unit, you cannot put profit on it. You will be lucky to sell it on original price, and sometimes you have to drop it another 5 to get yourself someone to buy it. So I will recommend them to buy bigger units, such as 1 and 2 beds. Now, if someone got some saving, what I will tell them is reinvest this money in themselves, in their knowledge, where this money can multiply it into 3x, 4x, 5x, and then when you have that money, by yourself. And now you're gonna ask me how. You need to change your mentality that you can live on 1 income. Today in my life, I'm living over 30 streams of income. How? Properties. I buy and sell gold a lot. I buy and sell watches a lot. I buy and sell cars a lot. I like stocks. I like crypto. I see what's gonna happening. I follow the news. I know what's pumping, where to put the money, and when come out. And my surrounding is always a great surrounding of data. Today, if you have the data, you know what's gonna happen. You know where to put the money, and you know where to get out of it. So this is why when I say invest in yourself, make sure that your surrounding is not only discussing a football game or the party on Saturday or the stuff. Make sure that these guys are working in a financial world where they are hearing about this new hedge fund coming to Dubai, or there's a new project or new CRM like Rally is coming to Dubai and I need to invest a 5% stake and my 5% will shoot up 100 times next year. So this kind of investment, I tell people, invested in yourself. Savings mean nothing. Now, if you have a chunk of money, this is good for you not to worry about the bills anymore, not to worry about your DIWA, the Empower, the car, whatever it is, but make sure to take this money and invest it into online courses, invest it into book, invest it into podcast, invest it into multiple stuff. Just make sure you're learning a lot.
I see, bro. I promise I will ask you a question. I promise to our viewers I'll ask you the question. You have so many SPAs in your social media, all over your all over your table. So apparently you have a lot of bulk deals. Can you please share how did you get such clients? From which source they came, and most probably you keep on having business with them, so how do you keep them as well?
Tell you what, I have never hidden anything. As you can see, my business is online publicly. I do everything publicly. And why I do it, I don't do it to brag. I just do it to show people that it's doable. And all of my information, I always shared it. I shared it through my videos, through talking, through my book. And if you have my book or if you read my book, you will reach a point where I talk about prospecting, about marketing, one by one, SMS blast, email blast, social media, and to reach to chapter number 1, which is called Follow the Cheese. And what I mean follow by cheese is like follow the money. And today I'm going to have this discussion with you. Like if I'm going to ask you, where do you find money in Dubai? Can you tell me? Where do you find the money in Dubai?
In real estate.
Okay, where else?
Well, so many think like people are opening companies here, they're selling some stuff.
Let me list it for you. Money is found into 5 entities. First one, in banks. Right? What do you find in banks? You find priority managers. Priority managers mean this is a guy who is handling an account that has 1 million dirham and above. When you come to this priority manager and say, Assalamu alaikum, I'm a real estate broker and I want to offer you, for all of the guys that you are referring it to me, whatever I sell them, I'm going to give you 20% of my money. This priority manager, you know what's his salary? 15 to 18,000 dirhams. When you come give him per deal 20,000 dirham, what he's gonna do?
Become your best friend.
That's it. He was like, if I give to this guy, and this guy is genuine and doing the sales and giving me these guys, I will introduce him to all of my circle, to all of my data. Number 2, luxury cars. How many guys are coming today with bags of cash, throwing us, give me a Lambo, give me a McLaren, give me a Rolls Royce. Now, if this guy, he's like 26 years old and coming to pick up a Lambo, what does he mean? This is a guy who can buy a penthouse, 3-4 bedrooms with a private pool and wants to fill it with girls and party 24/7. So if I go to this guy who works in this luxury cars and tell him, for every client you're gonna give me, I'm gonna give you 20%, he will do the same. Same case, luxury boats. If someone can afford to pay for a boat $1 million up to 10, up to hundreds in here, you don't know these mega boats, means they are verified buyers. Same goes into luxury shops. You have Chanel, you have Dior, you have Louis Vuitton, you have Gucci. Most of the people listening to us now know someone that they work in these stores. These guys have access to the iPad where can they know Mr. X if he's a VVVIP, VIP or just a VIP, how much he has invested. If a woman is investing into bags $200,000-$300,000, her husband has $20-30 million. Meet them, talk to them, and once you close one of these guys, guess what? All of their friends, they are rich like them. And if they are happy with you, and if they saw that you are not a pushy person, actually you were here to help them, they start referring you to your circle. And guess what? You will start to be invited to their parties, where once you go to a parking lot, you will see cars for $1 billion, and you're like, whoa, where am I? And that's how you grow it. And that's also in my book. It's not even like a hidden information. So this is what I've been doing. I learned, in order for you to grow in Dubai, you have to eat and feed everyone around you. And that's how you grow it. And it's not like a hidden information. And I tell this to everyone, and so many people were like, Anthony, how do you even share your secret? I don't mind sharing it. Doesn't mean you're gonna do it better than me. But at least this is what you do. So if you wanna focus on the social media leads, you're dead. Social media leads can only be 10% of your business model. When you are not making relationship with the bankers, with the hedge funds manager, with all of these guys, you call your social media leads. And I bet you this is a cold calling. You want to listen to it?
Let's do it.
You want to listen to it? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Regarding your apartment in El Primo, you are interested to...
That's what I do. I listen.
I thought there will be a masterclass right now.
This is what I do. I listen to it. I hang up the phone. I go for the number. I click on it and I put block call.
Yeah.
Do you know how many calls I have blocked? 32,000 phone numbers. I can share it to you on the camera for the viewer. This guy is a dinosaur. He just called, say hello, salamu alaikum, didn't call me by my name, and ask about El Primo. With all due respect, buddy, I invested $5 million. Who the hell are you to just call me and tell me if it's available, I'm gonna deal with you? What, your sound is majestic because you have this crazy voice? I'm like, please take it and manage it for me. This is the kind of ignorance that we have in the market.
Yeah.
And this is why I tell people, invest into learning. There is so many proper people in the city, even outside of the city, that they have educational forms that you can come, sit with them, learn from them.
Bro, I don't think there are a lot of people. I can name only you who's doing some kind of education stuff.
I've never done it for the purpose of like, this is my field. No. But when I met with Dr. Anand, I felt that this guy has crazy knowledge, and he has such a beautiful way of delivering a message. However, he doesn't have a social media exposure. I'm like, let's come together and do something. And today we have our online academy, and we are meeting with people. And just after this episode, I'm gonna make you listen to the voice note of this guy so they don't feel I'm promoting it. The guy told me, man, you're only charging 10,000 dirhams for 1 month. You should be charging 50,000. My life perspective is different now. He sees it different. He wakes up, he jumps from bed, he wants to go to office. Before, he was a miserable person, not enjoying his life, feeling like, yeah, I'm pushed to do this work non-stop, doing the cold calling. I call 100 people, and 100 people do exactly what I just did. Hang up the phone, block the number.
Yeah. Bro, what you mentioned is so important because each guest, I'm asking each guest about the social media leads, because some agents are thinking that this could be the main source of the leads, but it's definitely not. And the part that you said that only 10% of your leads should come from there, I absolutely agree with you. But let's touch social media. When did you start doing it, and what was your intention?
I'll tell you how I started, but before, I want to answer you something. Now, if I take a piece of a cake and I throw it on the floor, what's gonna happen?
You will not eat it anymore.
Of course, but all of the ants will come together, jump on it, and who wants to get the biggest bite? Unfortunately, what's happening here with the main companies, and actually all of the companies, that they will take a video from a developer or from an agent who has done it, whatever the case is. They will post it on the Facebook, and they're gonna promote it, and they will target UAE, and they will put the age demographic from, let's say, 21 to 50 years old. They will put male, female. They will put a budget of $1,000, and they will click. And this is what everyone is doing. So everyone in the city, that we have almost 2,000 agencies.
Agencies, yes,
are targeting the same little pie. So definitely the leads are gonna get tougher and tougher. It's not gonna be this genuine leads. This is why I tell them, use social media leads on your empty time only, not as your main business model. Your main business model is to go out there, meet people, make meaningful relationship, let people know about you, let people know that you are there. And the perfect formula is to make it all. And I'm gonna list it for you, all of the way to do marketing, which is coming in my second book in June as well. I'm gonna even list it now for everyone to listen to it. Now, when it comes to my social media, how I started, I remember I've never liked the camera. Never liked the camera. And in 2019, we started doing roadshows in London for Shoba, because they got an office in Mayfair. Also for the Mike Properties, they have an office in Knightsbridge. So never been there. Went, I cannot remember which month it was. Anyhow, I remember that we booked a very reputable hotel, like very big name, which is like almost 30-40 years hotel, you know. And we paid 200 pounds for it, which is almost 1,000 dirhams. So when we reached this hotel, I smelled fried fish in the lobby, and I'm like, whoa, that's surprising. Went in, checked in my room. It was a disaster. Cracks on the wall. It was too old. I couldn't even came in with the bag, so I was flipping like that. Guy drunk next to me singing I Made It My Way at 6 p.m. And I'm like, this is... I went downstairs for the reception to complain. And she looked at me and she was like, sir, it is what it is. If you don't like it, you can leave. And I'm like, really? That's the shit customer service you have in here? I paid 200 pounds for a night. And then I went outside of the road, and I was smoking back then. So I was smoking. I was so upset. And I'm like, really, man? I picked up the phone, like everything we do for you in Dubai, we spoil you. You have the service, you have this and that. And for $200 or pounds a night, back then you could have stayed maybe in Burj Al Arab in that prices. And you're not happy with it. And this is the shit that I have to go through in here. And I went to complain. That's how she answers me. And you tell me Great Britain, what's so great about it? And I posted the video just like that. And bro, the response was unreal. Even the Brits were like, Tony, you're so right. This is what we tell people. There is no services in here. It's terrible. You know what? You're good on camera. You should do it more often. I'm like, really? So Didn't really feel it. Start filming when I was walking there, sending it to my friends, talking a bit, and then the first day of the show, I was super happy to see the expressions of the faces on people when we were telling them like, yeah, it's a freehold, you own it for lifetime, you can register this property and the British court and the IFC where you can call your inheritance. These were the prices, you will get a visa, you will get this and that, and everyone was like, really? That's amazing. So I picked up the phone and I was telling how the outcome came. Like we had maybe 40 or 50 guys that came the first day, and this was really good and everyone was so surprised, and I posted it. And bro, the second day, Sunday, we had the massive lineup outside. Like we were 3 brokers expecting each one to have between 35 to 50 visitors, not buyers, just coming as prospecting. And that day we got over 400 people and we were like, whoa.
You posted on Instagram?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And most people, they were like, we saw this guy's video, we saw the... So I'm like, okay, hold on a second. There's power in this. Like all of the ads that we have done and all of the callings we have done, I couldn't bring these people. And I even just posted a video where I used the hashtags London, Mayfair, smart investors, investor, blah, blah, all of this stuff. And they brought so many people. There's a power in social media. And that was in 2019. I started in September 2019. That's how it started. So when I came back to Dubai, I started looking for videographers, and back then the dawn of videos was Asad Creates. So I called them. I'm like, listen, man, I want to start this stuff. He came, met me. He was like, let's do it, and did few months with him. Start doing other stuff, and yeah, from then I don't stop doing it. And now I'm super comfortable. Like I don't even see the cameras.
Do you consider it as your source of leads right now? Do you get business out of it?
Yeah, like Denis, I promise you, I'll show you now my Insta DM. People just come to me and say, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units I want to sell. Take them. This is my title deed. This is my passport copy. Tell your PA to send me the Form A so I can sign it. Like now I don't even speak. I just say, thank you. I just reply by thank. I don't say a word. So anyway, yeah, it gave me my brand. It gave me credibility. People come to me. And what I think people like most about me, that if you look at all of my content, you don't see these goofy videos that's happening nowadays in the market where people just like, don't buy this, buy that, and how much you pay rent. I always kept it informative and classy for a reason, because I'm not looking for viewers. I'm looking for someone, if he has a message or if he has a question or if he has something, they can come to me. I don't want my video to be seen 2-3 million, I don't know, guys that they cannot even afford a sandwich. I want it to be seen by 30 people that one day can be a potential buyer. So yeah, of course, it gave me great credibility. And now even my own guys in the office, they tell me whenever we are calling landlords to, as the business development department, to get units on board, and once we mention your name, the owners will say, yeah, definitely take it.
So when the lead comes, you go to the DM, like your PA picks it up?
No, I talk to them directly. I just let the PA do the paperwork, Form A.
So let's say somebody says, Anthony, I want to buy something. Like, do you handle all these requests yourself?
Yeah, so first of all, I don't talk over the phone because I find it's useless. I just tell them, let's do a Zoom call. So we will do a Zoom call, and what I do, I just open Google Earth, that I give them the satellite view of all of Dubai, show them the map, understand the requirements, understand the stuff, and tell them this is my preference to pick here, 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 here. Then we understand if the guy has the money, if the guy is a mortgage buyer, then I tell him stop. Let us at least get the verbal green light from the bank, so it will help us narrow down the option to know where you fit. Maybe some guy is coming to buy a 5 million property, but eventually he can get a 2 million from the bank and he has 200,000. Manage their expectations. So I take them through that ride. We pick the unit, and then we go once, do all of the viewings, pick what we want, and from there I already explain to them, my own advices, if we should go for a long-term lease, if we should go for a short-term lease, what will be our strategy, if it's a unit that I will be offering it to our corporate companies where they give it as a staff accommodation, which kind of staff, is it the director, is it the normal staff, and that's how it goes. We manage the property, we will rent it for them, they have the liberty to do with their money whatever they want. I pay my bills on the 30th of the month, the first they will have the money. Like for me, that's something sacred. Some companies, they like to pay after 3 months or 6 months. For me, it's a monthly payment. Some clients tell us, pay this money, my service charges, we do it. Some, they will say, keep it in Dubai, I'm coming next month, I will take it. Don't transfer it to Europe, we don't want to be taxed. You know, so each one has a preference and we do whatever they want.
And do you do secondary market as well?
I do secondary market.
Bro, how do you find the time for all this?
Bro, to be very honest, it's not that hard. Like, this is the question I told you. Like, as long as I'm awake, I'm working. I'm sleeping 7 hours. The remaining, I'm working. Like today, just today, before meeting you, I had 2 podcasts. I did 2 sales video, and I sold 1 off-plan unit, and I'm here doing a podcast with you. And once I'm gonna leave from here, I'm gonna go have a dinner. Then I'm gonna write 1 or 2 chapters from my 3rd book coming, which I didn't even take a break from the second. I finished the second 3 days ago.
Tell me about the second one.
The second one, like if you read it, you will become a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one was purely about sales technique, which I was using on a daily basis. The second one is just like I speak a lot about my experiences in the UK, how I started the roadshow, and I speak a lot about the marketing and how to utilize the tools that all of us we have in front of us. So for example, coming back to the gentleman that just called me and say hi regarding El Primo, which I don't know who he is, and eventually I will not know, I just blocked him. Let's say if this person went to Property Monitor and he downloaded the latest transactions about El Primo, and he picked up the phone and say, hey Anthony, just wanted to tell you that this is the latest update happening in your area. I have no idea if you want to sell or what you want to do with property, but I thought about myself to share with you this information, and for any consultancy, please feel free to talk to me anytime you want. First of all, I would have seen him on a video. I saw a person. He's a human. He's not a voice. Regardless if I want to sell or not, I will reply by saying thank you. That was nice of you. He did something I've never asked for. I see the numbers. Maybe I bought this unit on 18 million and he's telling me I can flip it for 6 million. I can make $1.6 million. Not bad. While Americans are suffering nowadays. Not bad to make 1.6. So, and he would have made my subconscious work. You know what I mean? But by just calling me, this is useless. I hang up the phone. So what I'm saying, teaching people how to use this kind of application, how to use this kind of report. And maybe some agents will say, oh, my company is not paying for Property Monitor. That will get us back to what I was saying first. Like,
go to DXP Interact.
DXP Interact is for free. You can take this information and you can be sharing it to people. Be a specialist. Back in the days, I had an agent who told me, man, these Arabella owners are not answering me. And I'm like, but why Arabella? He was like, I'm an Arabella specialist. I'm like, who knows about this? It was like, me. I'm like, great. I don't know even. You work with me. I don't even know that you're a specialist. What have you done in Arabella? It was like, I've sold 15 units. I'm like, do you have the proof? He was like, yes, I have the title deeds. I have this. I'm like, put them on the table. Pick up the phone. Say, hey, I am X, not gonna say his name. Just wanted to let you know that I'm an Arabella specialist and I've sold this 15 units in this community, and please keep my number and save it for any inquiries that you have. I will be here. He was like, that's it? I'm like, do it. He did it in front of me and I left. The next day he came and he hugged me. He said, I got 6 listings.
Outstanding.
And 1 tenant. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's still there. You can reach the people, but don't reach them by calling. You never know who's behind the phone. You never know what's their status. Maybe this guy is in his hospital. His son is sick. Do you think he's going to listen to you and your properties? Definitely he's going to tell you fuck off. So just have a different perspective of how you deal.
Yeah.
This is a part of the book. Another part of the book is like explaining the human mind. How does it work? How to deal with a left brain which are usually like quick people. They are like me. They just want to have very quickly the meeting. Okay, what do you want to do? How much? Okay, done. I bought it. How to deal with the right brain. If someone is receptive, if someone is aggressive, how to deal with them. When you go to a developer office, how to walk with them. Shall you walk in front? Shall you walk in back? Shall you walk next to them? How much time you need to spend on the high meet, greet, have the quick coffee, when to jump to the information. And definitely what most of the people are lacking, that we call it go for the kill, which is ask for the payment, ask for the close. Most people do 90% of the job, but they get shy about asking the closing, and this is where they lose business.
Guys, wait for this book. I'm sure there are a lot of useful
June is coming
information.
in June.
Bro, tell me about your experience of being an author.
Never thought about it. Never I never thought about social media, but when COVID started, I was losing my mind, like a day, two, and back then I was living in a 1-bedroom in Polo residence without a balcony. So you can imagine, I was losing my mind walking here and then opening the door, trying just to go to the parking, and out of nowhere, I picked up this paper and a pen, and I started writing, and I did 6 chapters. I'm like, whoa, and just left it like that. The next day I started thinking, I'm like, okay, this is nice, it's flowing, it's coming together, and I started telling exactly what I was doing, and that's how it became. And even my publisher, he was like, you're mental. So I called him in January. I'm like, I have the blueprint, I have everything ready, I need to finish the book. He was like, yeah, to take you into the process, it takes 90 days. I'm like, buddy, I'm having my honeymoon in 2 months and I need to finish it. He was like, impossible. I'm like, okay, if you're saying impossible, I'm gonna finish it in 1 month. And this is what I have done. And even when he released his latest book, he mentioned me by saying, this guy finished the book in 30 days. So it was super unplanned, and now I enjoy it. Actually, I find it as a message, and I say it's a message of love, because what we're leaving after we're leaving this planet Earth, it's our legacy. And this book has changed a lot of people's lives, and I still get this crazy DMs on Instagram by telling me, thank you, so inspirational, you put us on track. And this book attracted a lot of people that they were in the fitness industry, they were in the nutrition industry, and so many other industries, to becoming brokers. So this will stay after me 100, 200 years, whatever it is, but as long as it's changing one person's life, this is my main satisfaction.
Yeah, bro, books is the only thing that outlast any other things through the ages that like a person can live. I'm working on my book. I didn't finish it yet.
It's gonna be interesting.
The legacy is a big part of it. Bro, this podcast was organized by Really. You met with Vitaly, with me. Just curious to hear your opinion about the product, honest opinion.
No, I'll tell you what I loved about the product. Basically, you guys didn't reinvent the wheel, but you made the wheel run quicker, faster, and a more advanced way. So it's like, for example, instead of me now going to an EMAR app or to a Damak app or to whatever app, each one by one to book a unit, today you gave me this medium, this portal where everything is on it. Number 2, I can get myself sales offer that I can send it to a client. Not many applications are giving this. So sales offer usually help the process of someone after you're doing your pitch to see the main floor plans, the main payment plan, the main everything in it. Number 3, you guys has created a community between agents coming in together, which is beautiful, because again, I was telling you, unfortunately in this city, people tend to be just like, we all want to beef, like no one wants to hug no one wants to elevate it. So I love the way that you created some fitness program as well, where they can play basketball and pedal and whatever you want to do. So all in all, in this application, I think it's gonna be a great success, and everyone should be in it. End of the day, people are getting free education. Like, what else do you want more than that? You are surrounded by people.
This is something that you cannot put a price tag on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you are surrounded with actual people who are making it in front of you. So it's like, someone like if you wanna be trained, let's say football, and you have the opportunity by seeing in front of you a Ronaldo or whoever playing, you were like, yes, I wanna learn from him. He's the best. And today you are in this application where it's holding the best brokers of Dubai and best business owners and best everything. So yeah, I don't see why not to be in it. It's a great community, and definitely I wish you guys best of luck. I'm sure you're gonna smash it. It's a brilliant idea.
Thank you, brother. Honored to hear such words from you. Thank you so much for your time. It was really incredible, very inspirational. I'm sure people behind the screen took a lot of valuable information. I hope you guys managed to send some stories to the Instagram and tag Anthony. Wait for his new book. Sign up for his academy. I'm sure it will be a life-changing experience for you. Well, whoever stayed with us on this podcast, they already maybe feel like we should send him now some some gratitude and stuff. And guys, please stay active on the platform. Apply the knowledge that you heard today. For me, a very good takeaway was that Anthony proved once again that referral business is the main core for the real estate agents. Focus on this, guys, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me. Thanks,
bro.